Hi, this is Laurie from Softplay, and this is Records in My Life.
Thank you so much, Lori, for being on Records in My Life. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm a little bit running around like a headless chicken. Forgot I was meant to be here, but now I'm in. I'm locked in. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Excited to speak to you. I know you guys have a big show. You're doing Coachella this weekend, I believe, which is a massive. How you just out of curiosity, because I mean I've spoken to artists in the past, but not like literally almost like 24 hours or whatever before you're jumping on stage at a massive. Are your nerves like? Do you feel relaxed or?
I feel quite the whole thing's felt really surreal because we've never really like accessed any mainstream sort of success in the States before, and it was something that I never thought would happen for us. I always had ambitions to, play the big festivals in the UK, but the like doing anything that big across the pond just felt like beyond our reach. So it doesn't because I'm just sat here at home, still in the UK, just did bedtime routine, been with my kids all day. I sort of am not thinking about it, and then it's just dawned on me, we're flying over to California tomorrow, and then the day after that we'll be doing this show. It's the yin and yang, it's the duality of the situation we find ourselves in as 30-year-old men now and not in our early 20s. It's fun though.
And you're releasing, congratulations, you're releasing Heavier Jelly and I guess a little bit. You had some interesting artists work on that. Can you tell us a bit about the record and why you decided to release like an expanded version to Heavy Jelly?
Yeah, so in the past we've been encouraged to do extended editions and they've not really felt like they needed to exist. They're just a marketing stunt. However, on this album journey, there was actually a surplus of material that was really, really strong. And it felt like the songs were too good to leave out, but they weren't where the band is going in the future. So if they didn't come out in this period of time post Heavy Jelly, they might just never come out. I think it's our intention, to continue getting heavier and following that sort of more new metal influence that you can hear on Heavy Jelly, and the songs that have made it onto Heavier Jelly are potentially the more playful songs that got left off. They deserve to be heard basically, and they're great, but yeah, they don't belong on a new album.
Thanks so much again for taking the time to be on Records in My Life that shows about you, the artist, and the records that continue to inspire you. For you and Isaac, what would have been the catalyst, or I don't know if you have Craigslist in the UK, but what would be a few of the bands or a few of the records that brought you guys together?
So we would have, when we started, we bonded over albums like Stations of the Crass and Feeding of the 5,000 by Crass and Gang of Four Entertainment.
Hmm.
And then another album that we listened to on repeat as we formed the band was Happy Soup by Baxter Dury, who's Ian Dury's son. They were some of the really formative sort of, it's that kind of like art slash post-punk element that was really inspiring us. And then also we were listening to in the UK near where we live, there's a scene like a garage scene, and you have people like Billy Childish and the Buff Medways and the Headcoats, and that was really inspiring. And then there was a band from America called The Husbands that Isaac's dad had a record of, and they had a cover of In the Basement by Etta James, and they had a stand-up drummer because Isaac was
Hmm.
standing up. Isaac's dad's got this phenomenal thousands of records, and
Wow.
he would pull out all the albums he knew with stand-up drummers and pile them on my lap, and I wouldn't be allowed to leave until I'd listened to them all. So another one was the Cramps. We spent a lot of time listening to the Cramps when we first formed.
Wow.
There's a lot of sort of rockabilly influences, trying to sort of work out how the cocktail drum kit could work.
That's amazing to have somebody so close with a vast knowledge in music and like great records and like such an assortment of records to educate at a young mind, right? Because you're so impressionable to expose you to that music. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's no accident that Isaac is as skilled and as a proficient musician and lyricist as he is, because the exposure, as you said, to music from his first memory is laying on his dad's chest. So he must have been like a baby listening to Monkey Man by the Specials.
oh,
Um,
wow.
so there's a lot of when we were younger, you had movies like This Is England were huge, and like there was definitely within our social group like a lot of love for films like Quadrophenia, and there was a lot of emphasis on like having pride in British subculture movements. So whether it was punk, skinhead, mods, two tone, all of those things, they were really heavy influences us on us in the beginning and made us proud to sort of be British and listen to British music.
England was such an amazing, there were periods of amazing time, like you mentioned, like the Monkey Man, and then I just read a book on that era. But like England was just a lightning rod for all this, like, the mods and the punks and the oi and there was so much creativity coming from the political, because they were sparked by politics and racial division. And what's a good record in your opinion to get people to kind of listen and raise their level of consciousness and say, hey, the world, we need to get our our minds together and as people, like, not
I
as
mean, I think reggae was so amazing for all of for uniting people, especially when you like, you look at Bob Marley himself being having a white father and a black mother in Jamaica, that in itself being a powerful sentiment to bringing people together in Jamaica and like rallying two opposite political parties and making them shake hands on stage. He's got so many songs. But the other song that came to my mind was 54:46 by Toots and the Maytals, just talking about how, his prison number is now someone else's prison number. I think there's something so infectiously positive about reggae that it allows the politics to penetrate because you don't have to necessarily even notice the words, but they're going in. One of the issues being in sort of an aggressive band has is that it can make people switch off before it's even got in. So I think reggae's genius for that because it's hyper political, but it's lovely to listen to.
and what's a good record to with all the craziness going on in the world? You have three kids, you have a band going, you guys are going on the road soon for a pretty massive tour. But what's a good record for Laurie to like put the headphones on when the kids are asleep and just kind of like, meditate or whatever, just
Yeah,
flick it
so
up.
I really love Waxahachie. Do you know her?
Yeah, sure.
So her latest album, is it called Tiger's Blood? Can't remember what the latest one's called. It's got right back to it. But yeah, that album has been on my like heavy rotation. And then um Ben Howard, Collections from the Whiteout. That's one of my like all-time favorites. I mean, he is massive, but I feel like his level of genius has been like quite overlooked. I see him as kind of akin to a Radiohead or someone like that.
High praise. High praise.
Yeah.
You just got a gig at a accounting convention. You're DJing, and it's, you can't get anybody moving on the dance floor. And it's like, the deal was you got to get people dancing or you're going to get sacked. So what record you put on to get people moving?
Temperature by Sean Paul. I actually I did a DJ set the other I've done DJ sets like that. I've done office parties where nobody is dancing and yeah, Toxic by Britney Spears, Believe by Cher, Robbie Williams, Rock DJ. You just got to go. You've just got to go big.
I like the Cher one. The Cher. I mean, if people don't dance to that song, that's yeah.
Exactly. There's something wrong with them.
No, totally. I'm going to put you on the spot here. We're a Canadian show. Favorite Canadian record?
The first City in Color. Was it an EP or was it an album? The one that had Coming Home and Save Your Scissors on it.
That's a beautiful song. Say, I know that song. I'm not too familiar with. Of course, he's also from Alexis on Alex is on Fire. It's and but yeah, that's a nice one. Wasn't expecting that one. I was expecting something else for some reason. But yeah, you
Yeah,
pulled it from the hat.
I went and I like went on my own when I was about 16 because none of my friends wanted to see them at Glastonbury, and I stood at the front of a tent. I think it was on Williams Green, and yeah, like was in the front row. Just I envy Dallas's voice
Dallas.
so much. It's so effortless. He's a soul. Yeah, he's like a sage. He's got an old soul trapped in that body.
What in your mind to you is the perfect record that gets no res that get almost no respect?
Oh, that's a hard one. Maybe I'm a bit mainstream. What do I listen to that gets no respect? Gonna have to like do a little scroll here to see what I've been listening to. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm too mainstream. I guess let's do it. In the UK, there's a guy called Jamie T, and his first album, Panic Prevention. In the UK, he definitely gets enough respect, but I feel like around the world, he's been slept on a bit.
Mike D, if my research is correct, produced some of your early work, Take Control. Favorite
Yeah,
Beastie Boys record?
ill communication.
Let's on to the speed round. We'll let you go. Thanks so much, Laurie, for being on Records in My Life.
Thanks for
Weed,
having me.
weed, water, or wine to write or listen to your favorite record?
Wine, red wine,
Coffee with an artist, alive or dead?
coffee with Bob Marley.
Record of your high school years.
Yeah, Jamie T, Panic Prevention.
Words of wisdom for your fans and our audience.
Try and learn to be as much of yourself as you can be because no one else can be you as good as you can be you, but it's the hardest thing to do.
The show is really nothing without you. So please like or subscribe or check out our Patreon. And this year we've switched it up and you can win a record just for leaving a comment. Thank you again and we love you. Peace.